The last time I chased blades, Martin Yan hit me with a restraining order, so we won't go into that. Shien, on the other hand, has a much better time chasing blades, because he's, actually a ninja, whereas I'm just a weird-looking guy trying to get a television chef to autograph a live chicken. Damn it, I went back there, didn't I? Video game! In the grand tradition of Operation Wolf, Revolution X, and other first-person shooters that really wanted a light gun but didn't have them available, it's Shien the Blade Chaser for the Super Famicom, brought to you today by our boon companion Felicity in Worcestershire. She brings the shuriken to the hizzy, yo! So in the year 1615, that's Gana 1 if my references are correct, war is beginning. That's fine, there was quite a lot of that back in the day. But then your girlfriend Aska gets nabbed by an evil band of time-traveling ninja led by a shadowy figure named the Undertaker, and you suddenly feel compelled to spring to action, taking up shuriken and kunai, hitting Paul Bearer with a chair, telling Gene Okerlund and the entire television audience that you'll be waiting this steel cage at SummerSlam. Or, you just progress laterally through jungles and debris-littered cities and whatnot, fighting off advancing hordes with some rather strange mechanics. You'll note that your cursor isn't just a cursor, it's a disembodied arm clutching a kunai that trails your every movement. This is for, say it with me now, defense. That's right, most games of this sort rely on the shoot fast or be shot concept, while Shien mixes it up and allows you to parry attacks or even engage in melee combat by waving the cursor/bladed weapon across a nearby target. It's a really spiffy twist on a classic console issue, marred only by the fact that, the cursor's a pain to lug around the screen using just D-pad. Fortunately, Shien comes with Super Scope support, but digging that thing out would just be a grand pain in the bum, as would be getting it to work on this screen. But there's another way. Yes, that dark horse of control devices, the Super NES mouse. That thing. So I plugged that bad boy in, and sure enough, found the experience a whole lot easier to control. Finally managed to take out this dragon boss, too. But it still feels just slightly less responsive than I'd hoped, given the intense speed required to clear screens full of evil... ninja I could deal with. Weird sahagin-looking fishmen I could deal with. But military personnel? Modern military personnel, when all I've got is a kunai and some shuriken, and they've got rifles! Shien the Blade Chaser will forever live in infamy as one of those strange mouse-enabled titles, which unfortunately means it'll have to compete for time on the device with the likes of Mario and Wario and Arkanoid Do It Again. Right, don't see it winning. But it's a decent game in its own right, especially considering it adds the element of defense into the equation, which many such cursor-centric games couldn't possibly pull off. And all it took was restraining order. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to go hide in Emerald's garbage can and try to get him to sign my petition to have Guy Fieri imprisoned on the planet Rum Young Yun Sun.